welcome to Let's Talk Ads. We're here to push your growth marketing tips, fun and chats. Tune in, let's rock the show.
Hello, my name is Andre. I'm the CEO of Admiral Media. Welcome to Let's Talk Ads. We have a big relaunch here. Let's Talk Ads was running, I don't know, like a year ago or something. We just thought maybe it was a success. Maybe we restarted. Maybe we do it a little bit different this time. And here we are. With me today, we have Atishay from SplashLearn, one of the biggest kids education apps, if I'm saying it correctly. You can introduce yourself very quickly right now. But maybe before you introduce your company and what you're doing and everything, do you want to say where you are? I think I'm always interested in the story of people, where you are and why you are there.
Great. I think this is a very great question. Thank you for having me here. It's even for me, it's a pleasure to have this recorded, and I'm really feeling good today that I'm giving an interview for this session. So excited to talk more about that because my entire life has been into that.
Okay. And where are you, Atishay?
So I'm currently in Gurgaon. Gurgaon is in India, and it's very close to the New Delhi, which is the capital region of the country. It's a very new city, developed in the last 15 years, and I have been into this city from the last 14 years. And why I'm here? Because it's very close to my hometown, and I have some family values as well. So we have more tech cities in India like Bangalore, Hyderabad, Mumbai, but I love Gurgaon because it's very close to my hometown and also is very much developed than other parts of the Gurgaon. So I love, and it's very near to the capital region. So we have all the cultural aspect as well.
Okay, I can imagine. I hear a lot of good things about India. I've never been, to be honest, because I also heard that everyone who travels there from Europe gets sick.
No, it's not like that. I make guests at my home. So feel free to come. Definitely, I will host you guys.
Thank you so much. Tell us about SplashLearn, Atishay. What is SplashLearn and what's your role there?
So SplashLearn is kind of a, I can say someone's dream to join a company like this. So I have joined SplashLearn around 6.5 years back. So this is my longest tenure ever for any company that I have, joined. I have worked. I have started my journey from a very small company from a city which is not big. Then I moved to Gurgaon and then started again doing jobs for different companies. And then finally, in around 2012 and 2013, there was a boom of around e-commerce in India market. So there were companies building up. So I got an opportunity to work for platform e-commerce companies like Yepme.com. I worked there 2 years, and then I joined another company, which is a very popular used car startup named as Cars24. So I worked around 2.5 years there, and then after working in these two companies, new startup, I could see that there is an opportunity in edtech world because edtech was very very new, and I heard about SplashLearn, and it was one of my dream jobs because it was a product company and doing really good in the global market. So it was a very hard time for me to to clear the interview because it was not easy to join SplashLearn. Even today, it's not easy for anyone to crack the interviews. So yeah, anyways, then I joined SplashLearn, and it was my day. I started around 6.5 years back, and I was thinking it will be like very easy for me to work here because I have already got around 7-8 years of experience in digital marketing and user acquisition and paid marketing and all of that stuff. But SplashLearn has never been easy. Even we now face challenges, and it's full of challenges.
Kids targeting, right? You are aiming to acquire students and kids for your app, right? So probably tracking is a big thing. Analytics is a big thing.
Measurement is something which is a big challenge for anyone who is working for edtech, especially for kids under 13, because there are x number of laws which restrict, and the laws are actually good. The laws are actually good, but now we have to learn and face this challenge. Like, how can we run campaigns? How can we increase the growth after following all these laws and terms? So that has been a challenge, and SplashLearn is a growing company. Like every 3 or 4 years down the line, we have launched a new big product. So whether it's Android app, whether it is iOS app, or a new product made for preschoolers, or a new subject like English and language arts after the math. So SplashLearn has, and yes, of course, we have added a very new product which we have launched around 1 week back called as SplashBox. And we have a new app which is only focused on books. Now kids can also read stories. Kids can also go on their bed and learn about bedtime stories at night with their from their parents. So we have exciting updates, exciting products every 2 to 3 years down the line. So that has been the major reason that why I'm at SplashLearn. I love companies like this who focuses not only on marketing but at the same time parallelly on the product, so that we can go and get growth vertically and horizontally.
Makes total sense. It sounds super exciting, to be honest. Do you mean like you have very different apps? So you're building like a family of apps in the end of the day?
Yeah, you can say that because globally I can see that the parents who are living in the big countries like US, UK, Australia, India, or any countries in Europe, like every kid has a different neighbor. Every kid has a different behavior. So of course, parents would have a different expectation from their kids. Someone loving reading books. Someone is learning math using a game. Like we have addition, subtraction, multiplication, all these skills kids can learn using the product that we have. But at the same time, some parents want to read through books, through digital books, and some parents want to have kids bedtime stories. So we are now turning portfolio of apps where we can produce content and we can have a content related to what parents want for their kids. So that's why we have launched a separate app called as SplashBooks, and now we are focusing on different segments through different apps.
Got it. Splash Music next.
Could be, because music is also kind of a skill, right?
Absolutely. Piano apps are very successful and stuff, right? So it could be an option.
Very good combination. I would definitely speak to my product team for that.
Okay. Nice. So how many users does SplashLearn have right now? Considering you have two apps, right? Right, SplashLearn and SplashBooks. How many users do both have?
So we have a few more apps now. After thinking, we have to produce content for different kids, and now when we entered into the kids space, we realized that the kids who are from 2 to 5 year old and the kids who are 5 to 8 and 8 to 10, they have very different kind of methods and resources how they grow and how they learn. So we have made a separate app called as SplashJunior. That app we have made for preschoolers, especially for the toddlers age range and the kids who are not going to a formal school. So once they enter into a formal school, they have a kind of a formal curriculum being followed, right, for their school. So definitely the apps that we have made for the kids from 5 to 8, 5 to 10 years old, we have a proper curriculum for each subject like math, English and language arts, all those things. But for preschoolers, as it is a kind of a global app. I mean, any kid from any country can learn basic skills, like for example, baking a pizza, right? Or anything which is like a coloring. So if you are painting elephant, right? A kid of like 3 year old painting an elephant. So there you don't need a particular curriculum, right? So we have created a separate app for Splash Junior kids, and then named it as Splash Junior, and kept all the content related to the preschoolers there.
Okay, and how many users do the apps have in total?
Yeah, you've asked that question. So yeah, so we have around 50 million users so far who
Oh, wow.
have registered on our app plus web. So these 50 million users have been gained in the last 14 to 15 years of the product, the entire lifetime. So we have pretty big database, and the users are actually happy. I mean, we have a very good rating on App Store or Play Store everywhere. So we have a very good user base across all the products of SplashWeb.
That's a big success. I mean, of course, you're long in the market, but nevertheless, it's a huge thing to acquire 50 million users. I mean, many developers dream of that, right?
We
So,
also have, sorry for cutting it down. So we also have product available on web. So it's not only the app, because if you see the ad tech space, especially the app space, very few of them having the product made for web. So if a kid or a parent does not have, they don't want to give mobile phone or iPad or a tablet to their kids, definitely they can use the entire product with the same experience on the laptop or on the desktop. So our product also works on any web browser. You just log in with the same credentials and it will work as same as app.
Do you also product-wise take care of like screen time of the kids? I can imagine like preschoolers and everything. That's super important that they don't get. I mean, I appreciate when parents are trying to educate their kids and using modern technology solutions, right? But I guess it's not good when it's like 8 hours a day on the screen, right?
So I myself is a parent of a 3-year-old kid. And this is the biggest concern that I have when I speak to my wife, how long my kid has used the app today. Not SplashLearn, but the entire device, whether he's watching YouTube or whether he's doing playing any other app. But yes, this is the very common concern from every parent that we get. So we have a recommended screen time for every age kid. For some age kids we have 30 minutes to 40 minutes. Suggestion, and we also send notification to the parent, your 40 minutes, and you can also set a timer, 40 minutes screen time. So it sends a notification to the parent's email ID also at the same time. So we do have a proper screen time settings that the parents can set up, and especially for the young age kids, because they keep watching, they keep playing. So we also don't want to spend rest time which is not good for them. Yeah, SplashRun is very productive, but everything has a limitation for a daily basis. You cannot complete all the games in one day and then you just chill. So you have to follow a particular process of learning, right? 40 minutes a day and keep learning, or maybe you skip 2 days in between. And also you can choose the time. Like I want my kid to learn from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., something like this.
Got it. What's the monetization model? Subscription or in-app purchase?
So it is a subscription-based model where you can go and choose your subscription plans. Like you want to go for a monthly plan and try it for a few months and then see if it makes sense to convert or upgrade into a yearly plan. Then you can choose the yearly plan. But we also have a 7 days of free trial. So if you are not very much confident on whether to start subscription or not, you just try it for 7 days and you see the experience playing the games, the learning game that we have.
Yeah. Now, considering that kids' apps are so much limited in terms of tracking and privacy and stuff, I'm making one assumption here. You are acquiring lots of users in the United States as one of the strongest markets still. Correct me if I'm wrong, but here also privacy tracking, COPPA, everything limits you a lot. How do you get around this, or how do you are still able to run profitable marketing campaigns on Meta, TikTok, whatever you use?
So that's a very interesting question, because in all my friends, who work in digital marketing for the India market, whenever I try to speak the challenge that I'm facing with that tech and the US market, they're like, "Oh, you have all these challenges." They don't know. So I mean, yeah, when I joined SplashLearn, I think from that time till so far, in the last 6.5 years, I myself become, so much aware of these laws that, I spend sometimes like 1 to 2 hours just to read the laws.
Okay. As a marketer.
Yeah, I learned a lot of new laws. Like there are SOPIPA, COPPA, FERPA, FERPA, and there are n number of laws in US. And every state, like California, has their own law, for example, made for students, for kids. And I think New York has a different law. So every state we have to follow their laws as well at the same time. So it's not only COPPA. There are many laws. Some laws are made also for schools, and also, for example, like SplashLearn is not being used by the parents. Teachers may also use it. So we have to follow the school laws, the kids laws, and the parents laws. So all the combinations we have to use. But yes, definitely it's a challenge, but every challenge is also having a solution. For example, like Apple has come up with their own attribution system like SKAN. So Apple is now enabling all the privacy enabled framework to attribute users. So whenever we say, tracking, it feels like, someone is tracking anything. You feel scared, right? I'm saying, oh, Andrew, I'm tracking your data, I'm tracking your device ID, for example. So whenever I say tracking, it feels, you are stealing something, some information from me. But when I say measuring, so it makes a different game together. When I say I want to measure my conversions, I want to measure the number of app installs. So this is how it makes the change. So even in this industry, everyone is saying tracking, tracking, tracking. But I keep on saying to every friend of mine or the network community members that, don't say tracking, because we are not tracking anything. We are just measuring the number of conversions. We are just measuring the number of app installs that we are getting from Apple search ads, from Meta, from TikTok, whatever it is. But we are not tracking anything in actual.
Good
So
point.
this is, yeah, this is a terminology that, that parents, teachers, whenever I say tracking, they feel like, no, 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 I don't want to be tracked, right? I don't want to be tracked. But when I say measure, I want to measure, and it is just our data, right? It is not something which is, I'm taking your personal information, not even email ID, phone number, or not even device identifier. So every tech company, whether it is Meta, whether it is Apple or Google, now all these big companies, the ad platform companies, are making their own privacy enabled framework to attribute all the conversions data. For example, Facebook has AEM, aggregated event measurement. Now Apple has SKAN. Google is also working on their privacy model conversions technology. So every platform is now having their own solution for attribution. So somehow we are able to, find out solution at platform level. So TikTok is also working on this. I think uh, after 4, 5 years, 6 years down the line, we will be able to attribute the conversions or the challenges that we are facing. It will be 100% solved.
I mean, now I've heard that Apple might roll back on the ATT and SKAN network integration, or at least I guess they need to change it in some way, right? Because they have put themselves too much preference compared to any other ad network and platform. But it's an interesting take what you said. Instead of using the word tracking, because as you said, we are not following an individual, right? So that's not our intent as a marketer. We just want to understand, like, I put $1,000 here. Do I get 1,000 downloads from that? So it's measurement. Yes, you are absolutely right. Good point. I will try to implement this in our communication. That's a good one. But where it leads to, when we are using the term tracking, usually we also at the same time use the term targeting. And especially in the kids environment, how do you go about this? Do you also use a different term, first of all, for that? Because you're not targeting a specific user, but just coming about the terminology. But on the other hand, what's your approach in marketing? Do you go about the parents? Do you go about the kids? What can you share with our audience here when they also launch kids apps?
So for an app like SplashLearn or a brand like SplashLearn, who is having 100% of the end users under 13-year-old, so definitely the kids are so small, so young, that I cannot target them. Definitely, they don't have the social media accounts. They don't have any accounts on TikTok, or they're using their parents' account all the time. So definitely for us, the target users are the parents. So whenever I want to target, make a target or audiences on my different ad platforms, it will be definitely the parents. But if you see in the last 3 to 4 years down the line, all the biggest ad platforms, whether it is Meta or Google, they have stopped giving audiences to any advertisers. Now everything is automated. So I think even after 3, 4 years down the line, the target, the terminology that you are using, targeting, will change, because there is no targeting available anywhere. It's all automated. It's all AI based, algorithm based targeting. So you just give your app, their algorithm, the ad platform algorithm will read about your app meta. They will read about your screenshots. They have all the information about your product, because you have been there on the app store for the last 15 years. And they can read all the reviews, all the public information that you have added on your app. So they know that it's a kids app. They know the keywords that people are looking for it. For example, if somebody is looking for grade 7 math, So the algorithm of that ad platform knows that SplashLearn is not available for grade 7 kids. So definitely my app or my advertising creative will not appear for those keywords, whether it is App Store search, whether it is Google search or a Play Store search. So I can see that the platforms are getting so stronger. I mean, in terms of identifying the user behavior, their interest, that you don't actually need to target any user, you know, in the near future. So that's my take to on targeting.
Interesting. Yes, I could follow that argument. Where I see the difficulties is the limitation of data on one hand, and on the other hand, the how do you say the diversification of platforms, meaning that there's more and more social networks, more and more apps and websites the users are using. Maybe they use less Insta, now more TikTok, and then they move over to whatever 9gag or some other future platforms, more Reddit today. So the marketer needs to be everywhere, and the number of users on one platform gets maybe less and less over time because they are just spreading out across so many platforms. Do you see this as a challenge looking forward for those ad networks?
Yes, this has been a change in the last 2 years, specifically after Apple come up with the ATT change, and Facebook and Meta has also realized that they have also faced a lot of challenges 4 or 5 years back when it all happened. So now I think this part, that giving audiences to the advertisers or the brands, is getting diminished over a period of time. So they will be disappeared in no time. And I think you have to control the data that you have. For example, you don't have your product available for web, so definitely you will not run any SEM campaigns for on Google Ads. So you have your product very very well. You know what platform do you guys have your app. For example, I don't have an Android app, for example, so definitely I'm not going to run Play Store campaigns. So now it's more of the platform based. Now you have iOS, and in iOS world you have iPad, you have Apple MacBooks, then you have iPhone again have 6-inch phones, 5.5-inch phone. So you customize your product based on what data that you see for your users. For example, I know that parents living in the US are using laptops and they don't use iPad at all. So why would I make my product for iPad? And my target audience will automatically get changed for the laptop users. And the algorithm that ad platform will try to target more users for the desktop or the laptop users. So same for iPad, because SplashLearn is a product which is widely being available on iPad, and in the US there is a trend in the family that they have at least one iPad device at their home, and they use that device for entertainment purpose for them, for the parents, and as education purpose for their kids, at least till the age of 10 to 12. So, I mean, any attack player definitely should leverage this, information, and should try to modify their product. Will try to make this product very much iPad friendly. So, put all the features which are related to the iPad, for example, Apple Pencil or anything which is related to the iPad. Add all those features. Apple will automatically take care of your app, and typing, or it is an organic, whatever it is. Apple will automatically make sure that your apps comes appear on the top or better than any other product which is not having all these features which are specifically made for this particular product, whether iPhone or iPad.
Coming back to the point that the ad networks with AI will make our jobs easier in marketing, at least that's the promise. What do you anticipate is happening with your marketing team? Maybe you can quickly share a little bit how your marketing team is currently structured, and what do you think how it will look like in 5 years, for example?
So when I joined SplashLearn, I was the first person, in the user acquisition team. There was a team for organic marketing that was taking care of the organic marketing at SplashLearn. So I was the first person joined for the paid marketing, running the paid marketing campaign, especially for social media, like Meta. And I was very, very new, and my job was to make a team in 2 years down the line. So first of all, before doing any campaigns, any experiments, I have started making the structure that the team that I want. So I knew that the product is now focusing on iOS. We also have a product on web. So in India, you will not find a lot of good resources in the team, especially for the app marketing side, because at least 7 years back, now there are many app products coming up. So the experience is also gaining. The users are also, the employees and the people are also gaining experience in the app. But at that time, we did not have. I did not find any good person, available for app from the app marketing side. So what I've done is like I have started hiring people for the web, for product, because people already have the experience from the SCM and SEO and all the web acquisition. And now we learned together in the 2 years. I made a team for SCM, and for those years I learned with them. They learned from me. I learned from them, and then we slowly trained that team into the app domain. And then when the team learned, definitely we started hiring for app now. So in the last 5 6 years, I have made a team of around 4 to 5 people. Now we have structured a team in a way where we have a team for taking care of the web, and then we have a team taking care of the app product, and then under app we have different domains segment wise, and same for the web domain. So this is how I have structured my team. And going forward, if I think about the future, now I think I need one person to be aligned who will know all the privacy update, for example. So one person will be responsible for all the COPPA, FOPPA, FERPA. Any new law comes up, that person will be, kind of responsible to make any changes or to make
Is that a new role, the marketing lawyer?
kind of thing. This is a very new role. And
Alright.
when I when people will start laughing. Why? What are you saying? I say if we don't know the rule, if we don't know the law, how can we be a good marketer, right? So definitely, even if offline marketing, for example, you are putting a hoarding on the top of a beach or on the top of a hotel or on the top of a flyover, and if you don't know the rules, the laws that carrying the weight of that billboard or a heavy, then definitely you will be in the big trouble. So you should know about your laws before entering to the marketing space. It's a mandatory thing right now. You should know about it. Even if it is, even if you are not working with the US market, you're not working for iOS, you should at least have the knowledge of all the countries, all the platforms that you are associated with. This is one role. Second role, and that person will definitely not only having this role, but he will be the POC, or the person who will take care of this part plus something else.
Yeah.
One person definitely for all the integrations, like that I want to integrate my MMP, I want to integrate scan 4, scan 5, or any tech integration that I need. That person will be the POC for that, because I have these issues in my past experience that there is no dedicated person for this purpose so far, and I faced it. The person is saying, it is not my job, it is someone else. They're saying, it's my job. So you have to make sure that one person is responsible for all these things as well. These are very important. If you are not having a proper integration for any product, for any tools, then you will not be able to measure your conversions very well. And if you are working for 2 years, 3 years down the line, and you are taking calls on the wrong data, then messed it up, right? You are not a good marketer.
I've seen this 100 times. Yes.
A very efficient process, a very efficient team, a very efficient integration with all the tools is very important. Before we talk about the team structure, the team knowledge, train them, add more skills. So before we allocate like SCM or app marketing or a channel like ASA, Meta Ads, because generally the team is split. The team split is like that. One person will manage Facebook ads, one person will manage Google ads, one person will manage SDK based platform ad like App11 or anything like that. So I think before doing the split like that, we should have a split with all the other parts as well, which I talked.
I've seen it 100 times. We are an agency, right? So we come in and see a lot of clients' accounts, and I would say 95% of the cases there was quite a mess because they had a fundamental structure issue inside the company. Because exactly what you described, there was no one really responsible, or everyone felt responsible, and then everyone created some kind of thing which was overlapping or negating each other's settings whatsoever, right? So this happens all the time. And what's lacking is probably this one go-to person that has admin rights, and everyone else has to rely on that person. Sometimes makes the process slow, but secure. Right. So I would compare it maybe to IT security infrastructure, like firewall settings or something like that. The tracking measurement settings that we are having in in the different tools, they are so important and so fundamental for our job that it should be very clean and structured, what we are setting up in that sense, right? Yeah, I totally agree. And apart from that, do you see that let's say, the person that is currently uploading ads on Meta and TikTok, and that there's maybe another person doing Apple search ads, will that change looking forward with more AI?
I feel that with more AI, definitely we will always need resources. Like we will always need human resources. So AI cannot replace people, especially in the marketing team. But AI can replace and can make the efficiency better for marketers. For example, today I have sent a requirement for making like 20 videos for my, for example, UAC campaigns or meta campaigns. Now I have to wait for at least 2 weeks to share the requirements, add in into the process, and then wait for another 3 weeks for the approvals, and then finally outcome, and then changes, feedback. It will take 2 months maybe. So what AI can do is AI can make all these processes faster, but managing someone for Apple search ads or managing someone like meta ad campaigns, definitely we need people. So it will not replace people. It will not replace resources. It just that maybe the team size of like 7 could reduce to like 5 or 6, something like this. Like for example, like I was managing all the reporting sections very much manual, but now with AI, with all the new tools, the BI tools are also integrating AI. So I can do all these jobs faster, right? So that will happen, but I think definitely we need separate people for separate ad platforms, and I really need people to see the data every day and have a look what's going on for their particular platforms or their campaigns.
It's an interesting take that you have, that you think AI will not replace people. I have a similar thinking for my company, because we obviously also use AI a lot for the creative
Mhm.
processes for now.
Okay.
Whatever it is, copy, voiceovers, avatars to replace traditional UGCs with AI GC and so on. But I feel like it still requires more and more people to work on the creative. So I'm adding actually jobs instead of replacing them. While the marketer who's working on the campaigns might have a little bit of an easier job on certain platforms in the future, because many more things get automated. But then this person should have capacity to do additional things instead of getting replaced. This is how I see it, right? I mean, marketing is such a broad field. You can do so many things. It shouldn't be that just because there's some AI automating the bidding and budgeting, whatever, and that this person should go, because there is a lot of knowledge around marketing, building a company, building a brand, and using social media and so on, right? So this is still extremely valuable knowledge, especially once they understood your product, right? Your challenges as a kids educating app with all the tracking and laws and everything, right? So you can actually put this person into more research work about the laws whatsoever, right? When it comes to acquisition, what is your biggest acquisition channels nowadays? Is it? I understood you started as an organic platform, right? So a lot of ASO probably. Do you still do a lot of ASO, or is it rather?
So ASO is a base. Like now ASO cannot be missed. Like ASO is something which is there, and you cannot rely on ASO as well for a very long time, because you see a lot of changes in ASO in the last 5 years, because this market of ad pack and learning apps is very crowded, very very crowded. Like every day I see 10 new apps at most on any tools that we use. So having more than 4 to 5,000 apps in the learning space, and everyone is fighting for the best ranks, right? If I look for like educational apps for kids, learning app for kids, or any keyword, everyone is fighting to use those keywords and to have those keywords on the top their ranking. So it's a very crowded market. So we cannot rely only on ASO, but ASO as it is organic. So definitely, if you are having a good visibility on the searches on App Store, so it gives you results for for free. You are not paying anything for those results. So it's worth spending time and efforts on ASO and keep continuing it. You keep continuing the experience that you are getting to the users, your product, your app screenshots, or anything related to the organic listings. So we keep on optimizing the app for that channel. We cannot avoid ASO at all. And when you ask me which is the biggest channel, even if it is ASO, so far ASO has been the biggest channel for us, and it will be, because this space of ad tech has a huge search volume on App Store. Uh, Generally, App Store is not a search engine, right? App Store is just having people who are looking for particular apps, and most of the time, people search directly for the app name that they want to download. But this space is very different. This space, I can say that people are not aware of the apps, because the market is very crowded. So the generic search is very, very big. It's not 80 to 20, or it's not even 7 to 30. I feel that it's more than 50% of the people are, especially the parents, they are looking for the generic search. They are not aware of the brands. So they are directly looking for the generic searches, like learning games for my kid, or math games, whatever keyword it is. So it has a huge, huge, huge search volume on this space. Uh, so this is one. Second, Meta is also big on this space, because a lot of parents are available on social media, especially in all these markets, US and all the English speaking markets. There are huge number of users using Instagram, WhatsApp, and Facebook. Uh, and the biggest benefit for advertising on Facebook or social media is that everyone is on their smartphones. So they are not using Facebook on laptop or on iPad. So you have a large chunk number of users who are on smartphones, because if you are advertising on App Store, so there's a very high chance that ipad there are most of the time iPad users are searching for the apps for their kids. So yes, that is the missing part if you're using missing the smartphones users. So TikTok and Facebook is one of the channels which you can fill the gap. And after filling these gaps, you know that there are SDK based platforms like App11 or Unity Ads, or there are thousands of SDK based platforms and programmatic channels where you can try to, acquire users on iPad, because those are all the games, right? The users are playing. And in the free time, they use iPad and the larger screen devices like tablets, Android tablets, to play games. And that's the right moment that you can target users through these platforms and then acquire users. So it's like mix of all these channels, and then sometimes some channel goes up. It depends on the seasonality as well, because summer is coming up, for example. September is coming up, which is a school season, a new session in the US. And then January is coming up, which is a season after the big holiday break. So every season and every channel, every platform has a different type trend line. So some platforms works very well for summer. Some platforms works very well for the education season. For example, the App Store search, that works very well for the school season, because parents are very much worried about their kids now. My kid is now having another grade. Now he's in grade two. Now I will look for like grade two math, something like that on App Store.
Yeah,
So again, it depends on the channel to channel. But yes, all these
that's
channels are pretty much big.
we need to wrap it up very soon, but maybe one last question about ASO again, since it's so big for you. Have you, and you also have a web platform, have you heard about, or have you tried to do SEO for the app stores, meaning trying to manipulate the traditional Google search on web to bring more users to the app store, and by that influencing the ranking within the app store?
We have never tried that because I feel that this is something which is a gray area, because I have to play a lot of things with the keywords on my app. So I really did not spend a lot of trying to evaluate whether it will work for us or not. there are many agencies who have pissed us out, and then they said that, why don't you work on this part where people are searching on the Google or Bing, any search engines, and then your app store results appear up there as a web link. But if they are searching on MWeb, like on their mobile phones, then they will directly redirect to the app store, right? So this we have not tried so far, but maybe if we see there's a scope, maybe in the future we can consider that.
Yeah, we are experimenting with exactly that right now with 2 apps. I'm also very curious if that makes any change in the rankings in particular. Meaning we are optimizing the Google search, the traditional mobile web Google search for a certain keyword, I don't know, best education app. And we wonder if we then link that to the app stores, if that has any positive effect on the best education app keyword inside the app store, right? If that suddenly ranks higher. So I'm very curious about that. Looking forward to get some.
That's something that they consider in the future.
Well, let's see. Maybe we make a case study. Atishay, it was really insightful. Thank you for sharing and being so open. I guess the audience can always reach out to you. What's the easiest way to get in touch?
So LinkedIn is something which, I'm always available and always try to post a few things on from my perspective. So I'm always available on LinkedIn, and also on Slack. A few communities are there, ASO communities are there. I can share you the names later on. I'm there as well.
Yeah, perfect. So you heard it. We will put your LinkedIn profile into the show notes, so people can reach out. Of course, you can also ask me if you have certain questions or want to be a guest in the podcast of Let's Talk Ads. Then that was it. Atishay, it was a pleasure. What time is it for you now? Do you finish the day or?
It's like noon time, like around 2 p.m. So almost. So much for having me, because this is also my first time talking on a podcast series like this. Yes.
That's a good coincidence that we are actually relaunching Let's Talk Ads, and it's your first time in a podcast. That's amazing.
And I have one suggestion before we wrap up. I have one suggestion for every person working day and hard for their jobs, for their respective segments. So always try to take breaks after 5 years, 6 years down the line, like take a sabbatical or go travel somewhere, because we know that we have been working for the last 15 years, 20 years. And the new people who are joining this industry also suggest that, you should at least take a big break every 5 years so that you can explore different culture, different countries, and then take a sabbatical for 3 months, 4 months, or maybe 6 months, and then come back, restart a new life, and then you will be able to add more creative ideas to your team. Especially in marketing, you always need new ideas to acquire users. So don't ever forget to take breaks in between your jobs.
That's a good one. I should consider. Perfect. Atishay, thanks for sharing. I wish you a great day. And to the audience, thanks for joining us. Ask your questions, reach out. We are not shy and very open to share. Take care, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Here to boost your growth, marketing tips, fun and chats. Tune